YouTube intro. Hey everyone. If you love emotional stories that touch the heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because today's story will remind you that true respect doesn't come from money or power, but from kindness and understanding. It was a bright afternoon at the Grand Arab Palace Hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in the city. The marble floors gleamed like glass, chandeliers sparkled like stars, and the soft scent of jasmine floated through the air. Guests walked around in designer clothes, clicking selfies in the golden lobby. But that afternoon, something unusual happened. A tall man entered through the glass doors, graceful, confident, dressed in a pure white robe and a perfectly folded keffiyeh. His skin was bronze from the desert sun, his beard neatly trimmed, and his sharp eyes spoke of power and pride. He looked like royalty, because he was. He was Sheikh Rashid Al Mansour, an Arab billionaire visiting from Dubai. As he walked to the reception desk, people turned to stare. The receptionist, a young woman named Clara, quickly stood up with a professional smile. "Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Arab Palace. Do you have a reservation?" The sheikh replied softly, in Arabic. Clara froze. She blinked, then said, "I'm sorry, sir." "English, please." He repeated himself, slower, still in Arabic. Clara looked helpless. Guests in the lobby began whispering. The manager hurried over, trying to communicate with hand gestures, but it only made things worse. Rashid's expression grew tense, not angry, just deeply frustrated. His translator hadn't arrived yet, and his phone battery was dead. Soon the whispers grew louder. "He's rude. Why isn't he speaking English? Maybe he's arrogant." But he wasn't. He just couldn't explain himself. He tried to point to his chest, signaling that his documents were missing, but nobody understood. The atmosphere grew thick with confusion and discomfort. And then, from the corner of the lobby, a quiet voice spoke. A middle-aged woman in a faded cleaning uniform walked forward, holding a small tray of teacups. Her name was Nina. She was a cleaner, invisible to most guests, always smiling, always humble. She noticed the exhaustion in his eyes, the helplessness behind his silence. "Sir," she said softly, "would you like some tea?" Everyone stared at her. The manager frowned, whispering sharply, "Nina, this is not your place. Step back." But the sheikh looked at her, and for the first time since he arrived, he smiled faintly. There was something comforting in her tone, something purely human. He nodded. Nina smiled gently and walked to the kitchen. The staff rolled their eyes. "What difference will tea make?" someone muttered. But when she returned, she placed the tray on the counter, poured a steaming cup, and handed it to him with both hands. "Please, sir." He accepted it quietly, took a sip, and sighed. The tension in his shoulders faded. Then, slowly, he took out his phone, connected it to the charger behind the desk, and opened a translator app. His voice came through clearly. "My apologies for the confusion. My reservation papers were stolen at the airport. I just need a room for tonight." The entire lobby fell silent. The manager's face turned red with embarrassment. Clara stammered, "Oh. Of course, sir. We'll arrange it immediately." Rashid looked at Nina again. "Through the app," he said softly. "You understood, with your heart, not with words." She smiled and replied, "Sometimes, a cup of tea says everything." And that single moment, a cleaner's kindness and a billionaire's gratitude, changed both their lives forever. Over the next few days, Sheikh Rashid stayed at the hotel. His translator arrived, his meetings resumed, and the hotel staff treated him like royalty. Everyone wanted his attention, everyone except Nina, who continued quietly with her cleaning, like always. But each morning, the sheikh came looking for her. He would wait near the lobby corner where she usually worked and say in broken English, "Tea today, Nina?" She'd laugh softly. Always, sir. They became an unexpected pair, a billionaire and a cleaner, bound by the language of kindness. One afternoon, Rashid found her sitting alone in the staff garden, staring at her phone with tears in her eyes. Sad? He asked gently. She quickly wiped her face. Oh no, sir, it's nothing. My son, he got a scholarship abroad. But I don't have enough to send him. That's life, right? He didn't respond immediately. He looked at her tired hands, cracked from years of hard work, and said quietly, you give tea, you give peace. I give gift. She frowned, confused. Gift? No, sir, you've done enough already. He only smiled. The next day, the hotel manager called Nina into his office. His face was pale, his hands trembling slightly. Nina. Sheikh Rashid has paid for your son's full university fees. Everything. He left this note for you. Her hands shook as she opened the note. In perfect English, written in graceful handwriting, it read. The tea you offered me was not just tea, it was understanding. When the world looked at me with judgment, you saw me with kindness. May your son learn from your heart that greatness begins with humility. Tears filled her eyes. God bless him, she whispered. That evening, when Sheikh Rashid was leaving for the airport, Nina ran to the lobby, out of breath. He turned as she called softly, Sir. She stopped in front of him, her eyes full of gratitude. Thank you, for everything. He smiled warmly. No, Nina. You changed my journey. You reminded me, no matter how high we rise, we must never forget to bow to kindness. He walked out through the golden doors into the sunlight, a billionaire and a cleaner, their worlds so different yet forever connected by one small act of humanity. YouTube outro. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Because sometimes, one small act, one simple cup of tea, can change someone's whole life. Red Heart.